I'm going to ask Hussein and Margaret to come up to the front here for any questions. Now, I know Paul had to leave, but we've got, I think, 3 or 4 colleagues from EY. So if there's any maybe questions directed about the lab in EY, maybe one of Paul's colleagues might take that. Okay. Okay. I just have one quick observation about this morning. When it comes to skills, it would appear to me that construction businesses need to employ very specialist staff, that are data scientists, for example. They could be quantum computing experts, edge computing, robotics, automation, cloud. So have we got the skills in construction to trust what the machines are going to be doing for us going forward? Is this an issue? I mean, we'll throw that out to the floor, maybe. I mean, we've many companies here. We've large construction companies, design houses, we've quantity surveyors, we've government departments. Are you employing data scientists? Is that the future? No comments? Okay, move on.
Maybe. I think we should differentiate between 2 things. Are we talking about AI users or AI developers?
Well, I'm talking about building internal competency within a business to understand AI and, rather than sort of buying something off the shelf, So I'm talking about, internal capability, the skills within the business to work with AI.
Yeah, because I don't think, at least at this stage in the industry, we need that every single company is building an in-house capability in AI. Yeah. But even if they are using a third-party solution or a third-party service provider to build in-house solution, they still need some technical abilities in-house to actually understand what's being built, provide support, operation, and so on for the solution in production. So skills in terms of, for example, DevOps, AI ops, support, and so on. That's really required for any business who are using AI at the moment. But to answer your question, I don't think we have at the moment. We still don't have the necessary AI abilities and capabilities in the construction sector, and that's why myself and others they haven't got construction industry experience before, but they have got AI experience in other industries, and they are kind of trying to bring this expertise and experience to the construction industry.
Very good. And maybe one question for Margaret, if I may. The profile of the people taking this course, very senior, middle management, any construction people?
Yeah, it actually leads to your initial question as well. So the profile is very broad. We have, the likes of CEOs, C-suites, for example. We've got middle management, and just, anybody really. We've got a really good mix of profiles, but essentially everyone has a different perspective. So say a business owner, they're trying to understand AI because there's so much information out there. They're getting really confused. They don't know, okay, what do I take from all of this information? How am I going to implement this into rolling out a business strategy? So, while they do not need to have any expertise in AI, it's understanding that, so maybe they can employ that third party so they can speak the same language and direct that, say, expert, that data scientist, and lead them in the direction how they want the business to evolve or grow using AI. You might have, let's just say, you might even have a data analyst taking our AI course because they're so focused in a particular area in data analysis, but they don't know how the other aspects of AI lead into what they do. So they're trying to understand the broader landscape. I know, professionals in construction engineering who are leading digital transformation projects, for example, and they need to communicate this to the wider employee base, and they need to understand how they can strategize and use AI as part of their digital transformation project. So we've got a really good mix of kind of professionals that take the course, and we find that mix actually does support in them building out their strategy because they're listening to different perspectives and where other people are coming from and gaining those insights along with learning from the course itself and the subject matter expert. So yeah, it's a good mix.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Margaret. So, okay, we'll have a mic here for Greg. You have a question?
Greg Burton, so Margaret, I totally understand that it's a huge gap in knowledge. You know, it's a different management. AI is a different management to most people.
Yeah.
How it works, and you know, it's a general uplift in everyone in construction. I think to get benefit from once you understand it. But there's just a comment from saying there on 7% savings in construction project. That's a massive portion for the profits that construction companies make is very, very small. There's a lot of tools out there and providers that have AI built off their tools. Would you recommend going in-house, as you suggested, to build a bespoke tool for an organisation or benefit from tools that exist within products and off the shelf?
Well, it depends on the problem you're trying to solve and what kind of solution are you looking for. Are you specifically talking about project management?
Yeah, also starting from project management right up to managing an organisation.
Yeah, because to my knowledge, there are very few project management tools that use AI at the moment. But, I would highly recommend if you are using any, well, as a business, as non-tech companies, it's going to be very, very challenging to build fully in-house solution. But when you're making a decision, selection of the available solutions, and there are very, very few of them on the market today, I think one key criteria is you should be able to get the solution to be trained, the AI models to be trained on your business. Because lots of solutions now, they're selling more a benchmarking solution rather than AI. So they're trying to build kind of an industry level database by collecting data from different clients, and then they use this data to advise you. But they are, they're selling USP, one of their USPs as they're having, a huge database, but they might end up providing you with a benchmark of the industry rather than really an AI solution. So I think you should be looking for a solution that will train their AI models on your specific company data, so you get specific and tailored results to your business.
The second question, if I could.
Yeah.
Just around data privacy, you mentioned that's an important element. There's also value in the data, and you want to obviously look at everyone's data altogether, get the best results, compare against other companies, etc. Is there conflict of interest, and will there be value for companies like Google who sell on data as part of their business model?
Well, in terms of smart PM, when I'm talking representing smart PM, in my answer here, we don't do that, and that's our key differentiator. That's why it took us too much R&D since 2017 to get this product where it is at the moment. We only train the data, the models, based on the specific client data. And our models could be fully implemented on-prem, because we work with the Ministry of Transport, for example, and we implemented this solution on a server that's not even connected to the internet. So we don't mix clients' data together. We train our models based on the client data, and we advise them based on his data. We might augment the data based on public data like weather data and so on, but not other clients' data.
Any other questions? Just to maybe quickly mention, CIOB have just published a playbook on AI, which is very good. And the results of that will be presented at CitA Tech Live on October 9 by David Fowle. It's a really good piece of work with some very practical advice around implementing AI. Barry, question.
Thanks, Alan. Fantastic speeches, really enjoyed it today. Barry McCauley to you, Dublin. So I work in the tour level educational sector, and we're trying to figure out how to best integrate AI and how we can kind of bring it specifically to the digital structure portfolio programs. And we're working with that as a team and trying to embrace it. From our perspective, I think as educators, and I'd be interested in your advice, how is the best way for us to monitor and to regulate in maybe the tour level sector, specifically construction courses, in terms of when we do promote it and find that balance, but yet we understand what's probably the sweet point between its use and maybe kind of tip it over into, I suppose it's, I don't use abuse, but trying to use it for gains that would, obviously mean that they're kind of tipping a bit more plagiarism. So, just wondering, have you any advice in that particular?
Are you talking about issues around assessment,
Yeah.
student assessment and AI?
Yeah, assessment.
Yeah, okay.
From the tour level, that we're looking for that balance, that we want to promote it, we want to, really encourage people to use it.
Okay.
But how could you suggest how could you monitor it specifically and understand that kind of balance?
So are you concerned, for example, of students using AI tools to help them create projects and answer exams, questions and so on?
Yeah, exactly.
Homework and so on.
Yeah, so we're saying, look, please do use it. Use it as a tool, let it guide you, let that be a springboard down to kind of do further classification. But then we are finding that you have to spend more time kind of going, is this AI generated? Maybe kind of looking for an AI generator. And then you see, is it kind of generated? We're kind of going down that kind of loophole and understanding.
No, that's a good point. That's a threat in the industry at the moment, to be honest, because even lots of software development companies, they are using these kind of tools to accelerate the coding process. But you want at the university that students really get get real understanding and teaching of coding and software development and same for. So I think there are tools at the moment in the market where you can test or see if the answer was generated using an AI tool. I'm not sure how mature these tools are, but I wouldn't encourage students, to be honest, even when we have interns in the company, we don't encourage them to use any AI tools for their proper projects. We want them to learn things properly, and then once they take a job in the industry, then they can use these AI tools for to improve or to help them be more productive and stuff.
Does Margaret have an observation there?
Yeah, from our perspective, I suppose 2 years ago, or a little bit more, when we launched the first course, we had that kind of situation where we're trying to understand how do we detect, what do we do. But we've just come to the realization that AI is forever evolving. Okay, so you might use an AI detection tool, but then tomorrow another tool comes out that can eliminate that. So what we've decided is that we just embrace it and that we don't openly encourage it. You use AI now for your assessment, but we allow students to leverage AI for their projects, but in order to, I suppose, identify if someone has done completely the whole assignment in AI, as to those who have used it slightly, it's basically drawing from the core modules that you have and taking in the insights gained from the class, and you'll be able to tell straight away if someone has highlighted, the conversations that they've had in their breakout rooms and the references that they use. So they can definitely query AI, generative AI, some key concepts, the direction that you want your project to go in to get inspiration. But it will know straight away if someone has just copied and pasted the whole, because there's no insights in there. There's no context, it's clearly AI. So marrying a little bit of the generative AI output with the insights, that's okay. That's okay. You're using it to help you because you're coming out with a broader understanding. You understand it. But if you're just popping in, write my essay, it's obvious. It's very clear. So allowing it and ensuring that they're covering all the key insights of the topics, that's kind of balancing act.
Thanks, Margaret. Yeah. I think we've got to challenge the students in other ways than theses and project submissions. We have a question, Janet?
Hi, Janet Davis from EY. I just have one observation and I have two questions. So one of the observations is just when we're talking about the skills required, that I think in construction in particular, we're not talking about new roles, new skills, we're talking about augmenting roles. If you think about designers in the 1920s using pen and paper, it's the same sort of skill set that's used for AutoCAD. So I think there's a language kind of nuance with the construction industry and bringing it across the life cycle. So I have two questions, one for yourself and then one around the skills. Just in terms of your experience with developing a smart PMO, what's your, have you had any desire or input around using it for project assurance and also modeling out sustainability goals? And then in terms of the courses and the skills, what strikes me as being one of the key areas is procurement and defining the requirements of AI. And you would have seen in Paul's presentation that actually procurement had a huge cost saving of sort of 90% in using the procurement. Procurement is so important to define what the clients require. Is that something that could be explored or be clearer in some of your offerings?
So the first question about project assurance. I think what we're doing comes down to the project assurance from client perspective, for example. If they are when they start using the AI tool from early stage, and then through the procurement, and then they're not making decisions in terms of project approval, prioritization, contract award, and so on, not based on people opinion, but based on data and based on lessons learned from past projects. I think it's all contributing to project assurance, if we take it from this perspective. For the contractor as well, because they can use the portfolio module for, back to the client, can help them, for example, prioritize projects at early stage, what projects they need to move on, what projects they need to delay, what project need to cancel, and that has been used by one of our clients for their business planning sessions, for example. For the contractor as well, when they are, putting together the bid, if they know with more assurance and certainty what are the areas of risks within the schedule, they can plan the work with more certainty, and they can come up with the best commercial offer to their client. Once the project moves to the construction phase, when they can see the risks that are predicted, again based on data, and they can measure the risk with more confidence, and so on. So that all contribute to the project assurance. Sustainability, that's not something that we have integrated in the product at the moment, but we're working on carbon emission, and we're trying to basically build the same features around carbon, what we've built around schedule, build it around carbon as well.
Did you have a second question, Janet? Was there a second? Oh, that was tomorrow. Yeah.
It was just, yes, on the kind of specifics of the AI courses and just zooming in on AI requirements of the industry, so from a procurement perspective, if that's something that you guys discuss or we come up with any of your courses.
Yeah, we would touch off procurement as part of an overall AI strategy. But specifically on that, that's where we would also, if you've got specific requirement in that space, we would basically tailor a program. Say if you had a team that are looking at some specifics, you can tailor a program for that team, basically. So it just depends on the specific needs. But from the general courses, we do incorporate that as part of an overall strategy, because that would touch on the overall project or strategy.
No, that's really good to know. The reason I ask is, talking to a lot of semi-state procurement, chief procurement officers who are grappling with this, and there could well be a need for a specific ask from the semi-states from the client side perspective. So I might talk to you about.
Yeah, my colleague, the representative for the public sector, she would actually have told me about this. So, it is a key challenge. So, yeah.
Okay,
yes.
Maybe one final question and we might move towards wrap up. Yes?
Hello, I'm Daniel from Jacobs within the Digital Solutions team. I have a question for Dr. Hussain. Within Smart PMO, kind of from what he mentioned, that one of the outputs will be a schedule in Primavera. Have you any kind of ideas or is it in the roadmap to work with 3D models, such as like Revit files to generate Revit files based on learning from previous projects?
That's not something we're doing at the moment, to be honest. We are mostly analyzing schedule, not 3D models, resources and cost.
Okay. Unless there was a killer question, don't you? Sort of killer. One sort of last question I might. Dan.
I'm Dan O'Gorman from GS1. It's not even my.
You can.
The problem that everybody has in the construction industry is, as you saw earlier, is the access to verified truth information. Because with what you saw with ChatGPT, or I used GPT-4, you get a very convincing answer that you may rely on as an engineer or a construction professional. It's not correct. That is what the shit will show. And that is the biggest problem with this. What the industry has to do is it has to adopt what the EU is doing, which is digital product passports, which will be introduced in about 3 years' time. And they will be a single source of truth. And to access that, you have to go through a QR code on the product or on the packaging or on the documentation and get directly to that single source of truth. And then to answer your question, then you can do your scheduling, then you can do your risk assessment, then you can do your sustainability from that single source of truth. Mm-hmm. That's what AI facilitates.
Yeah.
That's a big difference. The other problem you have is that every client in this room can ask a query and show me a schedule of what I need for my CTE, common data environment. And then they will be going back to the architects and engineers and saying, this is what you have to give me, rather than asking the question today, what do you
Just to say, it's the first event I've been at that I haven't heard the word BIM being mentioned. However, if you think about the pace of development in information management and BIM, you put AI in there with it, it's transformational. Absolutely transformational. Predictive design, predictive cost, predictive program. I think this is we're at a kind of a cusp and a tipping point where AI can work with those critical components of a construction project. So a few internal matters, if I may, before I close, and that's just to talk about what's happening internally within CitA, because there's many members here, potential new members here in the audience this morning. So we've had a very, very active skills program. Why not? We're talking about skills today. Very, very active CitA SkillNet, 17, 18 years recurring funding secured. This year, we really knocked it out of the park. 3,000 training days, nearly 400 people, and in over 110 companies, with almost a fifth of the trainees female. Unbelievable performance by the CitA SkillNet team. Daria over there on the corner, quietly going about her work. We just want to mention some of the important projects and courses that we currently have an offering that are co-funded by the Government of Ireland and the European Union. Carbon footprinting, we talked about that, I think it was event 2 or event 3. We have an 80% discount on that course. Over on the right side, I mentioned information management. It's not going away. BIM is there to stay. A course on information management. Huge uptake in BIM this year. Why? Government mandate. People are getting serious about it. It's business as usual. Everyone, every profession in construction needs to upskill in BIM. Also, sorry, just to go back there. Yes, we also have training, 80% funding on training from Revit. That's by Symmetry. Revit MEP, huge demand for that as well. Limited places available, significant discounts again. And women in construction, I'm not sure there's any places, but this program has really taken off. And you can see over a fifth of our trainees this year are female, so good on them and well done. So moving forward, just maintaining that momentum, that positive momentum we have within CitA. We've had a huge success with our first kick-off event in Dunshaughlin last week. We've been contracted by the Government of Ireland to promote MMC from a skills and talent perspective. respecting other communities that are active in the MMC space. Construct Innovate, MMC Ireland, Smart Health Offsite Association, and of course, Mount Lucas. So we're working very busy. CPAC knocked it out of the park. Signs everywhere, branded high yellow face jackets, branded helmets, everything. Super event. We've got 4 events this year. Now, the thing about these events are they're very much kind of they're very much momentum building, and we're still in that discovery phase. So we're going to one of the largest construction sites next month. Cairn Homes, 7 Mills, and then we move to Portlaoise and then over to Sligo to Vision Build and John Sis facilities. And it's all about bringing these communities together and focusing on skills and talent needed in the MMC sector. I know one of our speakers, Annette, is here this morning. She did a super job and a fantastic report produced by EY around the skills and talent for MMC. So hats off to all the team in EY for that fabulous work. And our program. We're going to have a very, very busy October. 1st of October, we're back here. And actually, there's some mention of Google today. Google will be with us on the 1st of October here, talking about real-time analytics. We also have Infosight, a new startup company, supportive Enterprise Ireland, around the whole area of data analytics, and also our good friends from Everest Training, our Services Limited, Technical Services Limited, sorry, will be also speaking as well. And that will be continuing on the theme of AI. We then have our second event for MNC Accelerate, but we're also going to have a very, very important event in Limerick on the 9th of October. You must come to this event. This is going to be a super event. So this is going to be in Limerick on the 9th, and we've assembled a world-class program. I'm not sure if this is live, Suzanne, but that's fine. But you can go on to the CitA Tech Live site, and we have got a great lineup of speakers and good diversity mix. We're going to be there the night before as well, and we're going to have a lot of sort of regional contributions from industry, from government, from tech companies. So a super lineup for October, very busy one. Can I thank you for coming here this morning, taking your time from the busy schedule to join us. Hussein, Margaret, and I know Paul's not with us. Super presentations. Thank you so much. And I forgot to thank our sponsors. I think all of them but one potentially are not in the room. So BAM, Dallas, NTI, Diatech, Enterprise Ireland, I know are here. Everest, are we here today? And NSAI. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we have so much opportunities for you to help us in Limerick, to maybe help us defray some of our costs in Limerick. So come along, bring your clients, bring your colleagues. We have packages as little as €500 to help us put this event together. Well, it's going to be a super event. We're going to have a super event here on the 1st of October. One of the top people from Google will be with us. I think there was a Google futurist, a guy called Ray Kurzweil. I don't know if you've heard the name. He predicted that AI will reach, machines will reach the human intelligence level by 2029. And he said that over 20 years ago. Listen, I could go on. I do go on. Thank you so much. Let's see you. I'd love to see you in Limerick, and hopefully on the 1st of October, and we continue the debate on AI and real-time analytics. Thank you so much. Thank you.